Hello everybody, here I'm back again. I'm definitely planning on getting a tripod in the next week or so when I get my next check. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. So far I've been having to do these like twice to get them done. Each one I've done like twice because I'm trying to use different programs to figure out which programs are working better than others, and so hopefully I'll be getting it all figured out here, and then it'll be a lot easier to do. So here we go. The third concert I'm going to do is, it was Robin Trower on October 15th, 1977, at, once again, the Philadelphia Spectrum. It's kind of a messed up story. My parents were out of town that weekend. It was a Saturday. It was the Saturday right after the guy threw the M80 at Aerosmith. I believe that was on the previous Sunday, so it was only like 6 days later. And my brother that day, he had sent me over to my oldest brother's house to go pick something up, and Browns Mills, where I grew up, has this huge lake called Mirror Lake, and I was going around the lake, and I got to this, there's like a little opening with a teeny bridge, and I looked over, and all the water was gone from the lake. It was empty, and a couple puddles here and there. And I was like, what the hell? And I looked back, and the guy in front of me had stopped, and I smashed right into him. Wasn't going real fast, but it was an accident. And so I was kind of bummed out that day. It was my first ever accident. I knew I was going to have to deal with my parents the next day when they got back from, they went to my sister's for the weekend, and she lived in the Washington, D.C. area. And so my two buddies, John and Jay, were coming to pick me up, and they picked me up, and we went and got some weed, pot, whatever you want to call it back then. And we were doing some drinking, and but I was very depressed. And we got to the concert, and I remember Trower. They were the opening act. They played for like 20 minutes, and I saw that whole performance. They were okay, nothing special. The next band was called Bop Deluxe, and by the time they started playing, my eyes were closed. I couldn't open my eyes. I was like out of it. I could hear everything, but I was just kind of out of it. I was depressed. I was kind of out of it. And I remember the guitar solo playing, and I opened my eyes, and the lights were dancing around the lead guitarist, different color lights, and it just like messed my head up. And I closed my eyes, and I kept my eyes closed for the whole rest of the show. I didn't see one lick of Robin Trower, but I did hear him. But as far as telling you anything about the show, I don't really know a whole lot about what happened. I will say that these bands like Trower, Bop Deluxe. I'm going to be doing reactions of them eventually because I really don't know a lot about these bands. Just like, yeah, everybody's heard of Sammy Hagar, but when I saw him, it was very early in his career, so I'm going to do reactions to some of the music that he did then. Oh, one other thing that I do remember from the show that was really cool was Rick Wakeman, the keyboardist from Yes, came out at the very beginning of the show and did sort of a public service announcement telling everybody not to throw anything on the stage because of what happened with Aerosmith the week before. So that was cool. Got to see Rick Wakeman, and you know, he was pretty famous at the time. And by the time the show was over, I was perfectly fine. I remembered the ride home and all that. But that was my experience when I went to see Robin Trower. Thanks. Please come back, click the like, hit the notify button, and please subscribe to my channel. I need as many people as possible. If you like my stories, please tell your friends. Like I said, eventually I will get the reaction videos, but I'm 60 years old. I have quite a few concerts in my back, and I thought that maybe for a little while I could describe some of my experiences with people. So have a good night. Thanks. Bye.